I know a couple of years ago you were quoted as saying that come Tuesday night everyone was there chomping at the bit. Last year it was a little different. It was trickier. You didn't get the players available to you as much. How are you feeling? Where are the panel at this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have our strongest squad assembled now in a number of years, so we're definitely heading in the right direction. We probably need to find a level of consistency now in our performances, in our play, and probably being in Division 2, we took the opportunity to expose as many players as we could to National League football. So we're up in early middle 30s players who've played National League this year. So that will obviously lead to maybe a little bit of lack of cohesion or lack of fluidity because we're chopping and changing 4 or 5 guys each week. But obviously from now on that'll reduce now and you'll get into it. So we'd like to think we've become much more fluid, which hope will help with our consistency performances,
Yeah, and I know you're a fan of the rules and we'll talk about them in a minute. But just to pick up on a point there, the volume of players that you got time into, with the new rules and with the tempo up and the volume and the load up on the players, that the anecdotal evidence is coming through that they're doing more on match day. Do you need a bigger squad this year than ever? You
do need a bigger squad, which is the reason why we tried to use as many and to really expose them and find out, is this guy up to intercounty football, and you do, like, we could do it an extra sub or two too, Michael, that kind of way. Really, the high speed meters that are being covered now is really fatiguing guys and they're really starting to struggle towards the end of the games,
And the rules, if there was one, what's the one that's making the most impact, do you feel, in terms of opening up the play, moving away from what we kind of got used to over the last couple of seasons?
I'd say the solo and go probably is the really one, because we're all used to a free and a going backwards and a slow play, whereas now they're gone and they're nearly in on goal if you don't react quick enough. And obviously if anyone steps across, it's a 50-metre penalty against you. So I think the solo and go really has changed the game for the better. It's really changed the game.
Yeah, I have to say that, just casually watching on from the terrace as I've done so far this year, like it's a massive. You can't take your eyes off it again, which is exactly what I think they aim to achieve, and we're bearing the fruits of it. And looking forward to Championship then, what's in the bag? What have you not shown us yet? Are there things that Roscommon or maybe other counties are going to open up and show more of throughout the year, or where are you at on that?
Yeah, well, as I said, I think teams will start getting their best 15 and best 20 together now. Obviously, you're heading into the Championship, so there's no more place for anyone else. And like if you think about it, we've only 2 weeks experience of these new rules. So the last set of tweaks came in 2 weeks ago. So in fairness to everyone, I think we're all still working through it a little bit, and the 12v11 is gone now. You have 4 back, 3 up and all that different things. So we're still working through a lot of that. So you still will see a bit of experimenting, and obviously teams will be holding a bit back, ready to unleash in their knockout championship games, that kind of way. But it's very much, as I said, only 2 weeks worth of exposure yet. So it's still in its infancy. Like, we still have to work through it. And but I'd like to think we'd hopefully have something for some opposition, yeah.
Absolutely. And that little change that happened for the final couple of weeks, were you in favour of those little tweaks?
Well, it's definitely sped the game up. I think it needed to be complemented with a sub or two, to be honest with you, just to reiterate that point. But I think they definitely sped the game up. There's literally no break and play now at all. We'll kind of contradict you a little bit in that the big fielding is back, the high fielding is back, the kick out, battle out the middle is out, which I think is great. But obviously you need certain type of profile of player to field that ball, and then you're still going to ask that same guy to run up and down the field for, it's slightly contradictory. But I definitely think we've a very good product now, to be honest with you, and it's exciting, and I think that was their brief, wasn't it? So
yeah, absolutely. And finally, Derek Craig earlier in the year, mentioned, Sam should be on the radar. Sam is on the radar. What's your thoughts on that?
If you go off our league form, Michael, we're a little bit off that at the minute, but when we find the level of consistency, we'd be happy enough, we'd be right in the mix, all right. But just get our best team together, get them on the field, get them training consistently together, and get consistent performances, and then after that, we'd be happy enough that we'll be close enough, yeah.
Lovely, Davy. Best of luck.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks very much.
Right,
cheers.